It rains. Yeah. I got
It's all good. It's all good though. Y'all check out my book. It will be out in July. My book is entitled God is on Trial. How Religion Keeps Humanity Under Mind Control and Fear. Let me repeat that. God is on trial. How Religion Keeps Humanity Under Mind Control and Fear. It will be out in July. It is available. It will be available in paperback and Kindle. It will be available in paperback and on Kindle. I said it will be out in July. Meaning July. So when we look at
How do we move forward and not ask or beg for reparations? How do we take reparations? Well, the initiative, our organization, we have a plan. And we're going to be taking over cities in Mississippi. Come. And see, we ain't going to beg because there's cities in Mississippi. I'd name one, Mount Bayou, Mississippi. That's all black.
I'm Derek Grayson, and our country is in a fight for its soul. That's because I'll not only help Georgia, I'll help every American patriot in giving them a chance to live the American dream.
Free your mind and the rest will follow. Be colorblind, don't be so shallow. Speak your mind and change will follow. Now's the time, make your tomorrow.
It's your right to vote. Please don't let it slip away. Don't let the few rule the many.
Rock the vote.
Operation Exodus, Mississippi. What is OEM? It is the only real solution for descendants of slaves born in America. The original Mississippi campaign. Anything else is fraud and will not work. It is the process of bringing into reality the promised land that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. spoke of. It is simply inspiring the so-called black residents of the state to take advantage of their voting power, having a large population to take control of the political systems, laws of their state to benefit themselves, of which brings them power. Power they never had before. OEM has nothing to do with religious, personal, or political beliefs. Just wanting to make life less oppressive in this geographical area so blacks can feel safe and operate with less resistance due to racism, forming a type of safe haven sanctuary state for black people. OEM doesn't advocate trying to force the populace to do anything they don't wish to do, but offer advice and suggestions to improve their state for all citizens, regardless of race, creed, color, sexual orientation, etc. Some of the benefits of OEM could be: 1. As a state, you could finally request reparations due to the enslavement of our ancestors from the federal government. Being such, monetary or other awards will not be going to individuals or groups, but a state now in control that benefits this people to help build what this people need to act like true, free, liberated, as well as equal citizens of this nation. 2. Having control of the governor's mansion, you can control the state National Guard as well as all law enforcement of the state. 3. Create a different way of living among the people to alleviate homelessness and other poverty, requesting the citizens more modestly, opening up more jobs, more time with loved ones. 4. Offer true rehabilitation to those in criminal systems so monies on jails can go to more beneficial purposes. 5. State can request the federal government to release all political prisoners in federal custody or those forced into asylum in foreign lands to be returned to or handed to Mississippi so they can live out the rest of their lives in dignity. 6. Mississippi will become a true work state where every man, woman, and child can say they had something to do with the success of their state instead of credit going to a select few. 7. Being an agriculture state already, we can specialize in the production of pure organic foods that is good for our citizens, also can be exported to other states and around the world, having a want for cheaper organically grown food products. 8. Success of OEM will become the blueprint and example, having not enough room for all who now wish to move. So our eyes must be set upon perhaps Alabama, Georgia, and the like. 9. A state can function independently from the federal government, forming relations and deals in foreign lands like Africa to benefit the state and nation. The so-called black people of America have never had true power that others respect. But by doing this, we will get the respect and power we have never experienced, and the doors that will open due to just taking control of your life, we can't imagine. Please be reminded, if not for the domestic terrorism targeting black people of the South and the federal government refusing to protect its citizens, forcing them to flee, this OEM campaign probably would have been made a reality generations ago. So all you and I will be doing is the work our ancestors wanted to do, but couldn't do due to domestic violence from other citizens. Join and organize Operation Exodus Mississippi today, or become a supporter.
You know, these aren't jokes, these are thoughts, these are things that make you say,
That's why I asked them to show you the wheels.
Yes, sir.
Because I've also asked Allah to send them over here.
Yes, sir.
Just to confirm what I've said today.
Yes, sir.
That the man that I'm representing to you, those two men, they are the masters of the wheels.
Yes, sir.
And that's where I got what I got
That's right.
to tell you over the last 20, nearly 30 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The planning of the presidents of the United States, I got it on my visit to the wheel.
Yes, sir.
You all laughed at me, thought I was crazy, but I'm about to go back
That's right.
to the wheel.
That's right.
I have to go under extraneous circumstances,
Yes, sir.
but I don't care what the circumstances is. I want to get back. Because my teacher said, if you are faithful
Yes, sir.
and don't change the teaching while I'm gone, I can say I've been faithful.
That's right.
I can say I've taught his teaching
That's right.
all over the world.
Yes, sir.
I've expanded his teaching
That's right.
because I have been given insight
Yes, sir.
into his teaching.
That's right.
I've expanded his teaching
That's right.
because I have been given insight.
Yes, sir.
I've expanded his teaching
That's right.
because I have been given insight
Yes, sir.
I've expanded his teaching because I have been given insight. I've expanded his teaching because I have been given insight.
All right. Now you heard it for yourself. You heard it for yourself. There is no way around it. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan confessed that he changed Nation of Islam teachings. There's no way around it at all. He said very clearly that he kept the faith. I expanded the teachings because he had some kind of, he was given insight or whatever. Look up the word expand. The word expand means to change. It means to rewrite. It means to alter. It means to take something from one place to another. You are changing something. Louis Farrakhan was a college English major. He knows words. So when he said, I expand. Now, why didn't he say, I did not change the teachings? Simple as that. I kept the faith. I did not change the teachings. That's not what he said. He said, I kept the faith. I expanded the teachings. It's simple as that. We don't have to argue. The definition of the word expand means to rewrite, means to change, to alter. There's no debating. There's no arguing. You just a damn fool. You gonna believe. You gonna whatever. You gonna come up with an excuse. Well, I really don't care. Most of you never knew the original teachings anyway. I was raised, me and many others, we was raised on the original teachings of Elijah Muhammad. I was raised on nothing but Elijah Muhammad material. There was no Louis Farrakhan, no ministers, only the lessons, only Elijah Muhammad material. I know the original teachings. I know the original lessons. I know how things are supposed to go. Louis Farrakhan started changing the teachings to suit himself in the early 80s. So he could place himself in the lineage of the divide. There's nowhere in the original teachings or the theology of time or nowhere where you can add and put together some kind of way where Elijah Muhammad said or was teaching there was a third man in line. Elijah Muhammad made it very clear. Once I am gone, that's the end. There is no divine reminder. There is no future Paul. There's none of that stuff. It's the end. We are on our own. We either sink, drown, or we're going to make it. But Mr. Farrakhan, knowing how spooky and gullible you was, starting in the 1980s, and he knew he was going to take a loss, but he also knew that people was obsessed or fanatical about his personality and who he was. It's a personality cult. But now it's all coming to an end. It's all coming to us all expiring. So now, if you believe in these teachings the way you claim, Louis Farrakhan did not even keep the faith. He went from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to being loyal to Wardi Muhammad. That's what he done. So he did not even keep the faith. He started teaching that Wardi Muhammad was the man. Matter of fact, if you see, Louis Farrakhan basically worshiped and honored Wardi Muhammad to the day he died, the man that you claim destroyed your teacher's work. And you praise this man. Something is wrong. That is because Louis Farrakhan and Wardi Muhammad got something in common. They want to be leaders. They want the praise. They want the booty. They want the money. All that kind of good stuff that comes with leadership position, or you have people who are obsessed, a bunch of robots. And Elijah Muhammad taught very clear, I do not raise robots. It is in the meaning of the FOI. It is written very clearly. Elijah Muhammad wrote, I do not raise robots. My FOI, my fruit of Islam, are thinking people. But see, Malcolm was a thinking person. Malcolm was following the teaching. Malcolm loved Elijah Muhammad, but Malcolm did not become so obsessed. He knew right from wrong. He knew the teachings, and he was doing exactly what he was taught. But many of you are so obsessed with personality. Elijah Muhammad can do no wrong. Farrakhan can do no wrong. Nobody can do no kind of wrong. Farrakhan has breached the contract with the divine. He has failed Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad said, through you, I will get all my people. That's not going to happen. Clearly, that's not going to happen. You did not keep the faith. You all over the place. You went Wallace. You hanging around Jim Jones, the murderer. You're playing around with Taalik. You all over the place, doing all kinds of stuff. You're not faithful to your wife. Got all kinds of children outside of your marriage. Sister Khadijah, a weak lady. Unfortunately, she should have left him, but she did not. Enjoying the leisure that all this money and fame is bringing in. Farrakhan has children outside his marriage. I heard some of them may even be half Mexican. But we praise and we foam at the mouth. But all this is over because it's very clear Louis Farrakhan breached the contract. He did not keep the faith. He did change the teachings. You just heard it out of his own mouth. He's an English college major. He knows language. He knows what the word expand means. He did not say, I did not change. He did not say, I did not change the teachings. I expanded on the teachings. And he gave his reasons why. Nobody gave him permission. Elijah Muhammad's last words was, do not change. He did not say, you can expand on my teachings. He said, do not change my teachings. So I don't care what you do. I just wanted to make my point. And finally, Louis Farrakhan confessed. And all those talking about, he did not change the teachings. He did not. You don't even know, because you don't even know what the original teachings was anyway. Just silly You silly rabbit. Louis Farrakhan changed the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. Louis Farrakhan has breached the contract between himself, Master Farrakhan Muhammad, and Elijah Muhammad. In the story, no need to debate, nothing. It's clear, you can't get around it, and there's nothing else left to say.
Hold up, wait a minute, let me put some truth in it.
I want to remind us that here at the Reality's Temple on Earth, we are celebrating the publishing of our sister's Noble Levine's book, God is on Trial. And I would hope that you would help me, help that sister, that we be successful in purchasing as soon as possible 100 units. That should be easy. And also, I would hope that we would join her Facebook group called God is on Trial. So it is a wonderful thing, and we are happy. And hopefully in the future, myself and sister will sit down and we will go over and talk about God is on trial, how humanity uses religion against humanity, mind control. Ooh, I cannot get the whole title right to save my life. But the book is God is on Trial by our sister Noble. This is a topic that a believer in the most honorable minister Louis Farrakhan, this is a video you will never see them do, because they love this man, and you and I, we should understand how it feels when we love somebody. We do not want to hear bad news. We do not want to hear that our loved one is about to pass this life. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan just made a speech called the Criterion on July 4th. And anybody, except the followers, anybody listening to his words and just watching the whole event, you can tell that this man is dying. And death is something that comes to all of us. He is, what, 87 years old? And he has been fighting prostate cancer for at least 20 years. So for him to be among us in 2020 is truly miraculous. And of course, many would say it is a gift from Allah. But then again, Minister Louis Farrakhan has breached the contract that he made with his teacher and Master Farrakhan Muhammad, his God, because he did not keep the faith, and he also changed the teachings. And I have a video posted showing you from this speech that he done out of his own mouth that he did indeed change the teachings. the signs that Minister Louis Farrakhan is dying is that he said in the speech that the isotopes, the radioactive seeds used in order to try to keep his cancer at bay, somebody placed too many, and it kept him in constant pain, and it has destroyed his internal organs. That's a bad sign right there. He goes on to say that this activity was done on purpose to murder him non-violently. Now, if you know somebody done this, or you suspect somebody done this to try to kill you on purpose in the medical field, because you allowed them to put this radiation in your body. So the persons who done this, if you really believe this, then don't you think there should be a criminal investigation? Don't you think criminal charges should be filed? Matter of fact, really what you're saying is an attempt at murder. But he said nothing about a criminal investigation. He said nothing about a lawsuit, just baseless allegations. They try to murder me. They trying to kill me. Well, if you know this, being in the position that you're in, where are the criminal charges? Where is the lawsuit? Where is the evidence that you really have, except you think it's in your mind, you assume somebody trying to kill you? Or are you just being paranoid? He went on to say that a chair was purchased, I believe, way back in February, Savior's Day of this year. And he said he stumbled a little bit, but he did not need the chair. Now this speech, and he said, this might be my last speech. You will not see me for a long time. It might be my last speech. You might not see me. You're not going to see me for a long time. When you're dying, you don't know when you're going to take your last breath. So if he said this might be my last speech, then they're not telling you because they don't want to upset the believers. Nobody famous is going to actually tell you how bad they're doing, especially in this situation, because you have your hope and your faith and everything you are into this one person, which is a bad thing. Because when that one person is no longer here, now what do you do? What do you do when that one person is gone, Invo? What do you do? He said, I'm going away. And he made references to going to the mothership, wherever that is. He's been on the mothership. Now, mind you, we have cell phone cameras and everything. There's no evidence that he went anywhere. There's no evidence except talk. You have to accept what he's saying on face value. Nobody in their right mind accepts anything on face value. I love you and I trust you, but I need to protect myself. I need to see more evidence. So that's a claim. So I'm going away. I don't know when, but I got to go to the mothership. And I'm going under, he said, under certain type of, I forgot the kind of big word that he used. I'm going away. I'm dying. And then also, he talked about the death of Prophet Muhammad and what was going on with Prophet Muhammad. And Prophet Muhammad, as his health was failing, he needed 2 strong men to help him walk and help him stand and bring him a chair and take care of him. And Farrakhan has his son and another brother, big strong men, taking care of him because his legs giving out. Now, I'm not a medical expert. I'm not a medical anything. I'm not an expert in medical anything, but I was locked up in a situation for 10 years being around the elderly. I have relatives in nursing homes, and one of the first signs that you're not really doing well is when your legs give out and you're forced to use crutches, you're forced to use a wheelchair. Once that process begins, you don't have too much longer. I have a relative that had a very old dog, and his legs started giving out, couldn't hardly walk. And the dog tried to wag its tail, but the muscle in the tail gave out. The dog could barely wag his tail. And not too long after this happened, the dog did not die. It was decided that it was time to put the dog to sleep. Of course, we don't do human beings like that. But clearly, Minister Louis Farrakhan is dying. I'm not coming before you to be happy and to smile and bring joy. Why would I do that? But I'm also, well, why are you making this video? Because it's just a fact. This game, because that's what it is, this show is about to be over. That's the main reason why I'm making the video, because you're going to have a lot of people that's probably going to go to the crazy house. It's a lot of people that's going to fall apart when this man died because you put all your cookies in one jar. And that's a bad thing to do. You put all your hope, all your faith in one man, and this one man is mortal. Now he is going to go to the mothership, I guess, after he passed or whatever. But you will never see Elijah Muhammad. You're not going to see him again. Y'all living in fantasy and la-la land. And not only the followers of Elijah Muhammad under Farrakhan, but all of you believe in Jesus, believe in Yahweh, and all these different gods and whatever. All of you, your time is coming of great disappointment, because you're going to find out that all your religion and all your spirituality is not true. It's fairy tales and make-believe. You have wasted millions and millions of dollars over 40 years. You have wasted following somebody that is not a leader with fabricated teachings, because clearly he said out of his own mouth, I changed the teachings to suit myself. It was all about him, a personality cult. So when the personality is gone, all of it falls. Nuri Muhammad cannot save it. Wesley cannot save it. Ishmael cannot save it. It's a sad thing to a certain point, because a lot of us need something to believe in, but it's time that we accept reality. Because accepting reality, accepting the real truth, is better in the long run.
Free your mind.
I was introduced to a teaching when I was a little boy in the late 1960s. I was introduced to Nation of Islam teachings. I was raised in the state of Mississippi. And the state of Mississippi is known or has a reputation of being one of the most vicious and wicked, violent, geographical areas of this nation. A terrorist against the citizens, the black citizens, the soul brothers and sisters, the African Americans, the color, the Negro. At the time it was the Negro people. And I grew up during the time of Jim Crow. As a little boy, I did not see or notice a lot of things because I was a child. But even at a young age, I understood that something was wrong. And I was introduced these teachings. And these teachings was telling me I am the solution to this problem. Flee, American Negro. Flee, black people, back to your God and your religion. Come to Islam. And Islam will save you. Islam will protect you. Under the flag of Islam, the sun, moon, and the star, you will get freedom, justice, and equality. You will get heaven on earth by coming to Islam. Follow me, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches. Follow me to heaven. This was the late 1960s. Prior to the 1960s, this same rhetoric or this same narrative has been taught since the 1930s. July 4th, 1930, it is said, or it is also taught, that the beginning of our salvation began with the coming of a person called Master Farrakhan Muhammad, God in person. And he is to bring the knowledge. He is to bring the understanding. He is to bring that what the so-called Negro needs in order to come up out of a slave oppressive condition and rise to his fullest potential to finally enjoy heaven on earth. Islam represents freedom, justice, and equality, and they raise their own flag, the sun, the moon, and the star, which is the Turkish flag turned backwards. Now, I must admit, I don't care. I like the design of the sun, moon, and star. I like the Turkish flag. I love the flag of the Nation of Islam. I just think it's just a beautiful flag. I like the design, the simple design, and also what it's supposed to represent: freedom, justice, and equality. And so from July 4th, 1930 to July 4th, 2020 is 90 years of time. A promise was made: if we gravitate, if we come to Allah, if we follow the teachings of the messenger, if we follow the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, if we do these things, we will enjoy freedom, justice, and equality, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. It has been 90 years. I want to raise to us a very simple question. Not only the Nation of Islam, but we want to talk about Islam, period. The question is, where on the earth where you find Islam and the people are experiencing freedom, justice, and equality? Where? I'm waiting, and I will be waiting forever, because you're telling me that Islam is supposed to represent freedom, justice, and equality, and after 90 years of your teaching, we're still struggling. We're no better off really than we was in 1930. Where is this freedom, justice, and equality under Islam? Where is this money, friendship in all walks of life? Where is this at? A feel-good narrative, but it's not real. The reality is, Islam and those under Islam are nasty and violent people, liars and deceivers, tricksters. Islam is nothing but another slave plantation for the so-called Negro. You left Jesus Christ, you left the white man just to go to another plantation. Now you want an Arab to be your slave master. Now you want to live under another oppressive system. There's no need to argue. There's no need to debate. The only thing you have to do is show us anywhere. We know you can't do it in the United States. Show us anywhere on this planet where Islam exists, where the people, especially the women, they are enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. No need to debate anything. So really, we was lied to. July 4th, 1930. Come follow me. False promise, false hope. Have you ever experienced freedom, justice, and equality in the whole 90 years of Islam? Have you experienced it under Noble Drew Ali? No, you have not. You have nothing. You go from one slave master to the other. And that's all you will ever find. We must learn how, and we should reject all these pro-black teachings. They are nothing but slavery. Changing slave masters. Somebody want to rule over you. Somebody want to dominate over you. Tell you when to get up, when to sleep, how to think, what to do. We might as well just stay where we at. going from one plantation to another. Well, you might say, well, Massa Mo, he treat us nicer than Massa Sam. You still a slave. You a slave as a Christian, you slave as a Muslim, you slave Kemetic, you slave Hebrew Israelite, you slave, you are more, you slave in all these things that we gravitate to. We are nothing but slaves. Because that's what they was designed to do. To take your individuality away, to take your personal independence away. So the only thing you do is regurgitate information and plagiarize and copy. You are unable to use your own brain. So you say, well, the Quran said this and Marcus Garvey said that. What about you? There's nothing original. There's nothing that come out of your own mind. Woo, man. A slave has no use for his brain. I'm going to say that again. A slave has no use for his brain. The massa do all the thinking for the slave. The Quran do all your thinking for you. The Bible do all your thinking for you. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan do all your thinking for you. Marcus Garvey do your thinking. Dead folks do your thinking for you. You are in bed. You are in worse shape than the original slave, your ancestors. You supposed to be free and can't think worth a damn. You can't think worth nothing. Filled with emotion and reactionary. Going anywhere where somebody make you feel good. And that's what it was about in the slave. The slaves got Christianity. It just made them feel good. They still died as slaves. Christianity did not, and the God did not change their condition. And the descendants of these slaves that was feeling good, we the descendants doing the same thing, feeling good. Our condition remains the same. We got Islam, we got Kemetic, we got the Moor. We put them all together and you're still slaves. You don't move, you don't progress, you have no plan, you have no vision, you're not creative because you need a slave master to guide you. And so you waiting on this God, you waiting for this divine, and they never show up. And you wait 100 years, you wait 500 years and 1,000 and 2,000 and 5,000 years. And you wait. You're the most patient, oppressed people ever. You're not going to get freedom, justice, and equality until you free your mind and take responsibility for yourself. Stop depending on these religions and these divine organizations of people. Think for yourself. Learn how to use your brain.
Hold up, wait a minute, let me put some truth in it.
I want to, tongue-tied already. I want to spend a few minutes to, I don't like judging folks. I don't like accusing people of something they did not do. I am like Arsenio Hall back in the day. Arsenio Hall used to always say things that make you say, Some of us, and some of us don't care, but because of his popularity, because of whom he is on this social media platform, there are those who watch, there are those who subscribe, there are those who keep up with this young man called Young Pharaoh Allah, or Young Pharaoh. And he has reached out to his audience and asked them to support him in his $1 million lawsuit against YouTube. Various complaints, stealing money from him, was all basically about money, and violation of his freedom of speech rights. And I'm not Young Pharaoh. I'm not doing this just for myself. I am suing YouTube. I am suing Google for what is in the best interest of all of us, because what I do here benefits all of us, and that is correct. That would be correct if Young Pharaoh can sue Google, YouTube, and he is successful. That does benefit all of us, from the very small YouTube platforms all the way to the major. It doesn't make any difference, because I know, this is a fact, because I did myself sue Google, and I did it for free. Didn't cost me nothing, because of my experience in the criminal justice system. I learned how to file different things. I was in a position I could file this for free, so why not give it a go? The only thing I had to pay for, I had to pay for the subpoena to be delivered, and some other little minor stuff. But as far as the lawsuit itself was concerned, it was all free. I was representing myself, so it was all basically free. So I did. I should be able to speak on this subject because I did. And you can go to Google, Taalik Ibn'rad. Just do Google Taalik Ibn'rad, Google, YouTube, or whatever, and you will see, not only will you see me suing YouTube or Google, you will see me suing some other folks also. Hey, I could do it for free at the time, so why not? Sue everybody. Everybody I could think of. Do it. Win or lose, it don't make no difference. Sue them. It's fun. You ought to see the people's faces when they got to come to court. It's fun. Now that's bad. You shouldn't be telling people to use the court system for fun. I don't use it to send people to jail, innocent people to jail, and put them on death row. Don't tell me about fun. You use your justice system to send people to jail for things that they did not do, or you overpunish them. So don't tell me about misuse of the justice system when you do it every day. So don't bring that garbage to me, self-righteous piece of trash. Now, I could show you everything in relation to my lawsuit from the very beginning. I could show you from when it was filed, when the subpoenas was issued, the whole works. I will show you the whole thing. And Google was smart enough and nice enough to really put it all in a nice little, pretty little folder. That was really nice of Google. Explain the whole thing. Now, my problem here is, I was watching Young Pharaoh video because he shows his receipts. I got to show my receipts. I'm honest. I'm an honest man. I'm showing my receipts. So I'm waiting to see these receipts, and he really not showing any receipts. This is a $1 million lawsuit. Now what's mind-boggling is this man has actually according to GoFundMe or whatever the site is, he's raised $89,000. Wow. We love to just give our money away and you get nothing in return. Now you expect that young Pharaoh win his lawsuit against Google or whatever. First of all, that's an uphill climb. I don't care if you spend $1 million, $2 billion, $2 billion. What young Pharaoh is doing from a legal standpoint, and he's not a lawyer. I'm more of a lawyer than young Pharaoh is. And the people or the lawyers that's taking his money, they just taking his money. It's an uphill climb trying to sue Google for their own crap. And you have to go all out your way to be able to prove your case. And I hope that you're able to do that. If you make it there, the case might be dismissed as being frivolous. So, but young Pharaoh says he has given some lawyers $100,000, $89,000 donated by his people, his supporters, 20-some thousand his own money. You just gonna give some lawyers? That don't even make any sense. You don't give no lawyer. I don't even think they do that on murder cases. You give them a retainer of some sort, but I don't think it's not up to that. Almost $100,000. $1 million lawsuit. Are you seeking $1 million, or you want to pay these lawyers $1 million? I don't understand really what's going on here. But he shows a transfer of money going from one account to another, but you exit, he erases the information. You see $100,000 being wired, but you don't know where it's coming from and you don't know where it's going. Then he shows this paper with, I couldn't hardly see what the lawyers, who these lawyers are supposed to be or whatever. He gives no real information about nothing. And Google has not been subpoenaed. He did not say they have been subpoenaed about anything. They don't even know that the lawsuit has been filed. Which it takes the, if they have been notified, they don't have to respond until, they have like what, 45 days, something like that, to respond to after being notified of this lawsuit or whatever. I sue Google for free. You're going to spend, or you have spent, $100,000. What is the benefit? Now, he did not show any receipts. Now, that you gave these people, you show that some money have been wired, but you do not show that they gave you a receipt for this money. See, the whole thing don't sound right to me. I sued Google for free. I did not spend that kind of money. And I also understand, being a jailhouse lawyer, I guess you could say, I understand the law. Young Pharaoh been in trouble with the law, but clearly don't understand the law. This is a very uphill climb that you're trying to do. And everything is in Google's corner. You could take that money and start your own YouTube rather than mess with Google. You have enough clout, get the people to come, find black advertisers, and start your own young Pharaoh YouTube type, whatever. If you're going to spend this kind of money messing around with Google, and the chances of you not getting nowhere is the probability is very, very high. I know the law, I know how it's written. He does not know. I remember I wrote young Pharaoh when he was talking about his criminal case, and I received no response from young Pharaoh. Then come to find out that his case was dismissed, was already done, and he's asking people for money about doing something about his case, and it's already done. See, in this black conscious, pro-black, black first, pan-African type community, we have a problem. I'm not accusing nobody of nothing. It's just things that make you go, because the whole thing don't sound right. Young Pharaoh was scammed by Brother Polite with that sovereignty thing. And Brother Polite never did give him his money back or whatever, and young Pharaoh never got sovereign. So young Pharaoh is a person that's gullible. So you can speak to these lawyers and they hear him run his mouth, and they can see that this young man don't know nothing about the law and whatever. He's talking these big numbers. Yeah, they're going to take your money. They're going to take your money knowing they can't do nothing for you. That it's a road to nowhere. You would be better off just going to small claims court, and if you just want to make a change, you can still make that change and don't have to spend all this money, and you can still do what you want to do, that you need to do. The reward won't be high. You're looking for a lot of money. I think he's fascinated with instant riches. All this money I'm going to get from you too. That's not how it works. It's not that easy. And there are lawyers, just like Brother Polite, there's lawyers that will take your money knowing they can't do nothing for you. So I'm not accusing young Pharaoh of anything. I'm not judging young Pharaoh. It's just a lot of things here that make you say, don't, because I've done it. You can't tell me I sued Google. Didn't cost me $100,000. And I can still sue Google and do it again. Now I know better. I know what I did wrong. But again, y'all like wasting your money, make you feel good. We suing Google, blah, blah, young Pharaoh. Y'all just, there's no benefit. You spending $100,000 and there's no benefit. You need to stop doing that. But I guess you used to doing it, so you just keep whatever, and you smiling, skinning, and grinning. Oh well, okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck. But again, things that make you say,
You know, these aren't jokes, these are thoughts, these are things that make you say.
I was having a written conversation with persons on Facebook, and they did not like much of what I had to offer. And in their anger, they always say, "What have you done?" I don't have to do anything. I am not a Messiah. I am not a Savior. I'm not your daddy. I'm not your pappy. I'm not your mammy. You are grown men and women. I am not responsible for you. So I don't have to do nothing. I offer you advice. You don't want it? Cool. I suggest to you. You don't care nothing about my suggestions? That's cool. But I'm not obligated and I'm not responsible for grown people who are now going on 500 years old, living in this nation, I'm not responsible for you. This trouble, this problem that we find ourselves in, that I find myself in, was going on way before I was even born. I did not cause it. So I am definitely not responsible to do anything for you. Now, if you want me to help you, if you want to work as a team, we could do that. But I'm not your savior, and I'm not a messiah. You have not given me thousands of millions of dollars. I owe you absolutely nothing. What have I done? I'm not supposed to do anything because you have not done anything. You have not given me anything to hold me accountable and responsible. Those of whom you do give your money and your time and your support, you don't hold them accountable, but you're going to hold somebody accountable. You want to tell me, what have I done? What am I doing? You ain't done nothing for me. You can't hold me accountable for nothing. You've done nothing for me. I owe you nothing. Zero. Zippo. So then they continue the conversation by saying, what qualifies you to be a leader? Why? What make you think people should follow you? First of all, I've been on social media. This Reality's Temple on Earth has been on social media beginning on YouTube since 2007. I have never asked anybody to follow me anywhere. I've never asked for followers. There is nothing to convert you to. I am happy with you being who you are. And if we believe or we feel we need to improve, then we can suggest, could you, you would do better if you stopped smoking. You would do better if you stopped drinking, and so forth and so forth. But I don't do that here. We don't seek followers here. This is a team effort. And if it's not a team effort, then it's no good. Because the whole team needs to be on the same page. Because if we are following one person, when that person dies, when that person falls out of line, then we all fall out of line. All of us need to be leaders unto ourselves. All of us should know where we're going, what to do, our goal, our vision, our purpose. So no matter what happens to leadership, you can keep going and doing what you have to do because it's best for you and you know where you want to go. With or without this symbol of leadership. It is like we get on a bus going to Chicago. It makes no difference. We depending on the bus driver. But should something happen to that bus driver, all of us should be able to know how to get to Chicago with or without that bus driver. Now, what brings me to this topic is the insult. When people bring that to me, talking about what qualifies you to be a leader? What make you think people should follow you? At one time, I could concur because I never was looking for followers. I never was looking to be some type of leader. But now that I think about it, and the years have passed, and we look at the work of the so-called leaders that y'all follow, you give all your money to, you're willing to die for, what have they produced? From 2010, and they have not answered my question yet, from 2010 to 2020, you can put all this black power, blackity black, black first, Nation of Islam, Comedics, Hebrew Israelites, put them all, Moors, Nation of Gods and Earth, whatever you want to call yourself, Pan-African, put them all together between 2010 and 2020. What have they accomplished? Nothing. We're still sitting in the same rotten spot we've been sitting for decades. Nothing. The only thing you have received for your money is DVDs and lecture tickets, those ticket stubs and hidden color movie series, but nothing of something that the people can say, we are on our way to something. Nothing. You've been marching, protesting, and the same old usual crap. So I'm thinking to myself, if this is all your leadership can do for you, why can't I be a leader? Why can't people say he's worthy of following and guiding us to the place where Dr. King said, I want to take us and guide you, and I hope that you get to the promised land. I'm not going to get there with you, but I want to guide you. I want to get you to Chicago with or without me. So in 2018, while speaking and having a conversation with my brother Taalik, we came up with what we now know of as Operation Exodus Mississippi. So now we have the plan. We have a purpose, we have a plan, we have vision, we have a goal, we got everything that we need, and we know that it will work. It's based upon the activities and the behaviors of our ancestors after the Civil War, as they were successful, as they was moving and they was grooving, and they was doing exactly what we wish to do with the Mississippi campaign. They was doing it anyway. So it's not my idea. It's just building and acting upon something that our ancestors was doing anyway, but they could not accomplish it because of domestic terrorism. Why can't I be big shot leader? What? Why not? What qualify you? Well, I'll tell you. I've been a manager in stores, management, supervisor positions, that's leadership, and have done very well. 10, 12, over years. Retail, restaurant experience, supervisor, management. I've done that. 20 or more employees. I've done that. That's a leadership position. And I've done very well. There was a manager who was not doing so well, and I advised him and suggested, and he blew me off, and he got tired of me and my suggestions and my advice. Can you do better? And I said, I don't know, but I believe so, because I won't be doing what you're doing. And so we changed positions. I was the assistant manager. He was the manager. We switched position, and then I was able to show him that what I was suggesting and advising, it works and it was correct. And unlike y'all who's uppity and arrogant, he said thank you. And our store did better. Our store did the best it has ever done in years. I'm not trying to take your position. I'm not trying to be Mr. Smart, whatever. But it makes our job easier. And my whole thing is trying to make the job easy. But above all, I was locked up for 10 years. So, I was locked up for 10 years, and I was able to get myself out. No lawyer, helped me. I was able to do it myself out by using the tools that was afforded to me. So here we are in a locked up situation, an incarcerated situation, and you don't know how to get out. You have no key. You don't know how to take advantage of the things afforded to you that your enemy allows you to have. You have no idea. You have these people running their mouth. Many of them have never been incarcerated. So they're just telling you some things, and here you are in 2020, you still stuck in the hole, and you can't pull your car out of the hole, out of the ditch. I used anything available to me in order to get myself out of the situation that I was in. I used the people I don't like. I'm going to say that again. I took advantage of the people I did not like because they had knowledge, because they had something I could use. I took advantage of the books. I took advantage of other clients. I took advantage of anything. Listening to anything somebody had to say. And I put it all together, developed a strategy, and got myself out. Not very many people can say that. And anybody who has done it, they will bear witness to what I'm telling you, because we don't control the legal system. Your enemy does. So you have to be able to take control and understand your situation. You really don't, you know that you are oppressed, but you really don't understand how you are oppressed. You understand, you talk about systematic racism, but you really don't know what that is. You really don't. You don't understand the situation that you're in. But once you understand the situation that you're in, then you understand what it's going to take to get you out, and use whatever tool that you can use in order to get yourself out of this oppression. So I qualify because I was incarcerated with no help and got myself out. Why can't I take what I learned and bring it to us so we can get out of the ultimate oppression?